What's going on, everybody? We are outside. It's time to start talking about how do you use your technology to train your game. Hey everybody, Scott Hogan coming at you. We're at my teaching facility here at Stony Creek Golf Course. Excited to be back out for the season. Going to be doing a little bit more with the unit outside, kind of showing you some of the training now that we do with the unit. Before we get into that, and I start talking about what this crazy thing I'm wearing is, make sure you check out FlightScope. They have their sale going on for Masters Week. So check that link out down below if you're looking to get a unit or upgrade to Pro package or even get Amiibo. I use those all the time out here too. That's a great device. Make sure you check them out. And if you're interested in this Gravity Fit, which I'll be going over, make sure you check out the link down below. I'm going to talk more about what I use this for as I'm practicing. All right, so here we go. We're talking about training now. So a lot of times when people get outside, they say, hey Scott, I don't know what to work on with my game. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do with my game and what I do with my launch monitor. So there's really a couple things that I'm doing with my launch monitor that I'm going to be doing to train, and everything is starting to focus on, I'm not worried about my technique. I'm not worried about any of that. I'm worried about hitting shots now. I need to be thinking about what are the shots I need when I play on the golf course. So the main ones that those are going to be for me are those kind of finesse wedges, those scoring shots. So when I'm outside, the first thing I'm doing, especially off turf, is I'm working on these 50 to 100 yard shots. You could even go down to 30, but I'm working on shots that are going to be a little bit more of a control, where I really could use the benefit of knowing how far I hit it when I make a certain size swing. So I've got my 60-degree wedge, which I hit with all of these shots. I've got some range balls here. I do have the unit set up on range ball mode, and I've actually got a training aid I use while I do this. So I've known about Gravity Fit for a long time. It's basically just something that goes on your back, and what it does is it works really well for me, okay, in trying to get the golf club to feel like I'm keeping some nice width in my stroke and getting my body to work. My hands and arms are really good at doing their thing of going up and down, but I need to make sure my body is moving correctly as I go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start off and I'm going to pick a target yardage. So I'm going to start with 50 yards. And so what I'm going to do is work on hitting shots until I hit that yardage in the air. I like to go with carry because hopefully these shots aren't rolling too much. Well, let's go for a 50. Not too bad. A little deep, 65. So we need to work on that a little bit. So I'm going to do it again. Let's see. How was my launch? I launched it a little low. Let's try to get a little more to the bottom of the ball here. Okay. Let's see where we go. I bet that's short. Yeah, 42. And you can see the two different launches I had as I go through. One took off at 42 degrees. One took off at 24 degrees. So I'm trying to balance in between all of that as we go and trying to launch the ball how I want to, all while trying to feel the width in my stroke. So that one felt pretty good. 46, so we're getting closer. Now, one thing you'll notice is we're hitting off a little bit of longer grass, and it's also a little wet out. So that ball is going to take off a little higher than I would like probably. But what I'm doing as I'm hitting these shots, okay, is I'm working on not only making good contact, I actually hit all those pretty well, but what I'm thinking about as well is how far back I'm going to hit these distances. So as I go to 50, okay, I'm going to actually try to launch it a little lower. I'm going to move the ball back just a smidge, but I feel like I'm bringing it up, you know, maybe about rib cage high. Now, whether or not I'm actually doing that on camera is irrelevant, okay? It's what I feel like I'm bringing. I could be bringing a full swing for all I care. I don't really care about that. I just want to know what I'm going to rely on. So when I have a 50-yard shot, hey, I'm going to try to swing it rib cage high. There we go. I moved it back. That ball came out a little lower. and we're kind of dancing around. I like that height on it though, 30 degrees of launch. And so all I'm doing as I'm getting outside, because we have a bunch of variables, right? We've got dirt that gets on the clubs, so have a towel around. Clean off your clubs, get some moisture off them. I'm also working on just sizing things. So I'm gonna start with a yardage. I'm gonna work on getting that yardage dialed in. Once I do that, then I'll move up. Hey, I've got 60 there. So maybe my rib cage high swing is my 60-yard shot. So maybe I'll try to go a touch smaller, just under rib cage high. Let's see what we get. 46, so it's somewhere in there. But I'm gonna be building up my system for how I'm going to work on all these shots. Again, I see so many people that are using their launch monitor saying, hey, I wanna try to blast driver. How much is my swing speed? All of that. And that is not something that I wouldn't work on. I'm going to talk about that in a sec. But you got to use it for what I think the best thing is, and actually what most of the pros use it for, is dialing in these half wedges, thinking about what club you're hitting and how big of a swing you're making to hit these different yardages. If you do that, you're going to be able to take that to the course. That's usable information. And then from there, you can make your guesses and judgments and all that for hills and wind and all that. But now you've got a starting point for all the shots that we really all know are really important. And if you want to use a training aid like I like to use, this feels really good to me. It helps me with my posture, things like that. So I use this to make sure I'm making good contact and keeping that body moving. But this is a great tool that I use, but you can use any training aid you need just to keep you focused on, hey, this is how I am best at making these shots. Now, the second thing I'm going to be doing throughout the season is I am going to keep my swing speed work going. So what I like with the Stax system is they have what's called the cruising mode. So this is like your in-season, hey, I need like an 8 to 15 minute workout where I just want to keep my swing speed up. So firing this up, getting some swings in where I still feel like I'm keeping myself going with how fast things are going, I'm also going to work on that. From there, yeah, I want to work on hitting some drivers and seeing where I kind of cruise at with my swing as far as speed. It's helpful to know, hey, I carry the ball maybe this distance. That helps you plan your way around the golf course. But again, from there, what I'm really trying to do after I do my speed work, I'm really just trying to figure out what happens when I hit shots at a very comfortable speed, right? What I would call my gamer speed, okay? What am I gonna actually play golf at, okay? So if I've got a 6-iron out and I go to hit a ball, okay, and we're a little into the wind, okay, that felt pretty comfortable. 155, again, it's about 50 degrees out. We're into a slight wind. That's what I'm hitting it right now. If I want to work on hitting it farther, I need to hit it faster, all that stuff. We got more layers on, all of that. But I'm just paying attention always. I'm using the launch monitor to understand the conditions that I'm playing in. I see so many times when I play with people, they go out, especially early in the year where it's wet, it's really kind of, soggy. The weather, it's still like, it's better than the winter, but it's still cold. You still got layers on. You still are not going to be doing everything that you want to do with the golf club. And so you need to practice and learn how far you're hitting the ball in those different conditions. So, hey, I know when it's this type of weather, I'm losing almost a club and a half on my distances. I just got to live with that. Now again, I could work more on speed, I could do all that, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm trying to learn what my game is doing at the moment with where I'm at physically and where I'm at with the conditions. And the last thing I like to do when we're outside is I actually like to try to simulate some lies, okay? So, one of the things that's going to happen to you when you play golf outside, you are going to get into uneven lies. That's how it's different than when you are inside. So some of the things I like to do is I like to simulate if the ball is above my feet. I also will put a towel underneath my heels, you know, ball below my feet. I will work on hitting shots under trees. I will put myself through all the different scenarios and look at how those scenarios affect the golf ball. So again, I've got my 6-iron, which I just hit. If I hit it 155 yards, okay, I'm going to watch this shot where the ball is now above my feet. I'm going to have to swing more around and level to make contact, just like if I was up on a hill and the ball was above my feet. I should see this ball go left, but let's figure out what's going on as we're hitting shots. So I'm going to try some things out and see what goes on with the golf ball as I'm hitting it. Now, this is also a really good exercise in just seeing how well you control the golf ball and the golf club from different scenarios. Okay, so off that lie, it's moving a little left. You can see it's a little harder to make super good contact. Okay, so I got to know, hey, if I get in an uneven lie, I'm going to lose even more yardage. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more. I actually would like to make a swing in a way that would make this ball go left. Okay, I like to know, you know, ball above your feet, the ball is supposed to go left for a right-handed player. So I don't like to fight that. I like to be predictable and say, hey, let's watch where this ball is going to go as we hit this. So I'm going to work on that. There we go. Definitely got that going left. Let's see how that affects things. So I get a little bit more of a normal distance, even though I didn't quite hit that one as good. And I'm going to just keep controlling. Let's work on that from all right, what would I do if I'm actually playing? If I'm trying to end the ball at the tree, well, from this lie, I'm going to have to aim over here. I'm going to have to swing around me, and let's let that ball go left. There we go. That one's good. That one is moving left. Hit that one a lot better. You see that one I hit really good. Didn't have any ground interference there. So something to try as you're going through is, hey, how many different scenarios can I put myself in? And just pay attention to what happens to the numbers when you're in these spots. You're going to run into them on the course. You want to have an idea of what happens when you get there.